So pumping the water out nice and steadily into the tank. There's about a foot of water in there, maybe put a tad more in for them. The next stage will be to set the jet washer up, get rid of that algae so the surface is nice and clean, and then leave it basically for the day, leave it to the open air to dry out. I'll put the plants, there's a couple of plants in there, I'll put those in with the fish just to keep the plants moist. I need to look at upgrading that pump because it gets blocked up. Maybe look at putting a solids handling pump that I'm using that doesn't get blocked up. And then we'll put the net that's over there over the tank to prevent the heron having a free meal while this is all waiting to dry out over the next day or so. I don't want to start trying to catch the fish yet. They've got a serious advantage over me and my net while they've got all that water to swim in, so we'll drain the water down till just about the fish's backs are exposed and then pop them into the tank. A good while away from that yet, there's plenty of water in this pond. The pond was built, the lady was telling me how the pond was built in the mid 1980s. For it to have lasted this long is pretty impressive, but as you can imagine, after all this time it's just getting a little bit tired and some cracks appeared in it. The extent of those cracks is unknown at the moment, but they'll easily be fixed with a special paste that I use prior to the fiberglassing. I'll talk to you about the fiberglassing in more detail as that gets applied. The reason to fiberglass a pond like this rather than put a liner in it is that it will follow this curved form exactly, forming a 3mm skin exactly to the shape. If you put a liner in it, one, it's vulnerable to being penetrated by sharp objects. Fiberglass isn't. You would have to a sustained physical attack is the only thing that's going to damage the fiberglass. With a liner you're going to have all folds and creases that trap dirt and filth and gunge. Not good for the pond in general. Quite looking forward to starting on the fiberglass, hopefully, if the weather's okay. It's very unusual for me to work on a pond that is uncovered. Normally I'd be travelling all over the country to do a job like this without the pond cleaning side of things to do first. The customer would normally do that, or I'd be working on a brand newly built pond, and it would be covered up to protect me, or to protect the pond from the elements such as rain, which is the only kind of Achilles heel for fiberglass. But as this is literally 2 miles away from my house, I can hit this job during suitable weather, which is hopefully like today, clouded over and not too warm. Plenty of time to apply the fiberglass. But as I say, I'll talk to you more about that technical side of things as we get to it. Okay, that's the majority of the water out. Pond is about 2'6" deep, maybe 3 feet, and certain things are beginning to reveal themselves, namely as to why that pump is getting blocked up, because of a bit of a blanket weed issue, which is inevitable when there's a lot of nutrients in the water, namely phosphates and nitrates. You can see it all down there. The fish were getting trapped in it as I was catching them. There's some I've pulled out. The plants, or the lilies here, the soil's gone a little bit sour, so I'm not going to be putting those in the tank with the fish. I'll leave those under a wet bed sheet, keep them moist. Fish are extremely happy in there. I'll pop that net over. The heron won't come while I'm here, but I need to shoot off shortly somewhere, and we don't want the heron taking an opportunity. So we're going to set up, I've got a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, but it's as quick to empty this out by hand. Literally stand in the pond, fill those buckets up, run them down to that flower bed there, and that will act as a nice fertiliser for all those plants. So I'll crack on with that. Once it's completely emptied and drained out, I'll get the pressure washer out and start blasting all this algae and gunge off the walls. and have a look at the extent of any cracks. So there might be some cracks that need repairing prior to the fiberglass, but again, I'll talk to you about that specialist side of things a little bit later. Right, that's the pond as empty as I need it to start the pressure washing. I'll be quite aggressive with the pressure washing against this concrete, knowing that I'm not going to be damaging it at all. It is good and strong. I can't really find any signs at the moment of cracks. Maybe that concrete has become porous over the years, I'm really not sure at the minute, but the fish are quite happy in their temporary home. I'm going to set up the pump once I've given that a clean. I'll leave that in there with the fish running, give them a bit of circulation and oxygen. So the next scene will be a view of this pond after I've stripped back all that algae and gunge that's stuck to the walls and the floor. Okay, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. Jet washing the walls